Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast which we disassemble a film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute segments and then examine it in obsessive and occasionally hilarious detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco. And Kyle.
Yes, sir.
The other evening, I was perusing an old copy of the Journal of Molecular Biology and Evolution.
As you want to do.
Well, I do this from time to time. No, I don't. But I happened to come across an article in the February 2017 issue of this astute journal. And they had talked about strawberries and how they are members of the Rosaceae family. If you're allergic to strawberries, you may also be able to uneat. Let me redo that.
Okay.
If you're allergic to strawberries, I'm leaving this in.
Okay.
You may be also unable to eat pears.
Did you just make a portmanteau there?
Yeah. Uneat.
Uneat. Unable to eat is uneat. Coined. Copyright. Next reel.
Pears, peaches, cherries, apples, raspberries, and blackberries, among others. That's it. It's an oral allergy that deals with pollen. Some people have it. I hope you don't, because strawberries are nice. It's weird that their seeds are on the outside. Yeah. But other than that, it happens.
And I can only stand the taste of strawberries when they're in licorice. Otherwise, I want to have nothing to do with the taste of strawberries at all.
Not even those like really old, weird, like grandma candies?
No.
That like have the
gooey... you're give me horrible...
What about like a smoothie? Strawberry smoothie?
What's a flashback but for your taste buds? Because whatever that is, my mouth just went, no. It's like it just dried up. Oh, I gotta get some water.
I'm sorry. That was appalling on my part. See, I ruined everything because of the uneat. Strawberries, they're bad for a particular person in this minute. That's all I got.
One of the few things that Pepper Potts and I share, a dislike for strawberries, but she's got a much better reason than I do here. A minute 79 of Iron Man 2 from 2010, directed by Mr. Jon Favreau. And so we pick up where we left off, which is they're having their conversation, and Tony has had enough of this sculpture thing that's been going in front of them, so finally he slides to the side, and so their conversation moves. And then, Rob, you pointed out that we have another monitor situation.
Okay, so several continuity errors in the very first seconds of this minute. Well, one, we do have this really beautiful wide shot of the desk, and this is one of those. I looked this up and I couldn't find the particular artist, but it's kind of like just a huge piece of tempered glass over what looks to be like two chrome jacks, you know, like the old game of jacks, right? Sure. And you've seen these before. I mean, this is something that would, I'm going to date myself. It's another 90s reference, a Z Gallery. Like this is a desk you would have seen in Z Gallery in the mid 1990s in American malls. So anyway, you have the shot of the desk. Now, two things to note. Look at the background when you watch this movie. Look at all of the buildings and notice that they're all pristine, because that's going to change in another 3 shots. Okay. And there is a third monitor now, a third different type of monitor on her desk. This looks like a sort of monitor that is, I don't know, like 2 screens are like dented in the middle to kind of give you kind of like what our curved monitors today have. But there is a clear like dip in the top of the monitor, in the bezel. This is not the same monitor. This is the third monitor that now has appeared in this scene. I wonder what is going on with the editing on the
maybe they
the
had some maybe on the Paramount set they had a real problem with theft, that people kept walking off with the monitors and
the monitor. Like, Pepper's going to be very upset with those people. I mean, it's hard enough to run a company, you know.
Right, you gotta change your settings every single time. I mean,
well, and as we go into this, really quickly, we'll get into the dialogue, but we then shoot back to another behind the shoulder scene of Pepper. Mm-hmm. There's a logo on the monitor that is a different Stark logo than we've seen. It's got kind of like it's a kind of a 70s kind of curvy font, almost like a Star Wars font, like an avant-garde. And it's got just sort of like a very simple molecule, but like, okay, that's something new completely. And here, I'll just bring up the other continuity error, is that when we go to these close-up shots now of the conversation, one of the buildings behind her in the background now has miraculously gotten a Stark Industries logo on.
Oh, yeah.
Which didn't exist earlier. Now, again, I don't mean to bag on all this because this could just be simple, different issues with effects and just the way things are edited.
Yeah.
I still believe for some ridiculous way, this whole sequence heavily edited from what was shot when it was shot.
Yep. That makes sense. So it's a weird, like this conversation they had is a little bit strange, and it's sort of like, I don't know. I always doing these my minute things. It always seems like, why isn't things moving faster?
Right.
And so this whole minute is sort of like, do we really need to go a whole minute just to talk about this thing? So I'm going to read you the transcript of what Tony says at the start here. Because obviously I'm not Robert Downey Jr., so he does a much better version of this. But at the same time, when you break it down, I don't even know. It seems like this is entirely improv, because he says, do you know how short life is? And if I never got to express, and by the way, this is somewhat revelatory to me, and I don't care. I mean, I care. It would be nice. I'm not expecting you to, look, here's what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to say it. So then finally Pepper cuts him off. Let me stop you right there, okay? Because if you say I one more time, I'm going to actually hurl something at your head, I think.
The purpose of this dialogue is two people who really do care for each other. There is a connection. There is a relationship. And the one cannot bring himself to admit that, wow, I've really, really hurt you.
Okay,
and
yeah.
this is his way to fumble through that.
So that's what you're saying. You're saying, like, basically this is Tony Stark is trying to apologize to Pepper for which of the many sins that he has committed in the course of this movie.
All of them. It's just all of them.
I do like if you say I one more time, I'm gonna hurl something at your head.
That's great.
That's a great line.
Yeah. I think the last time, you know what, I had a flashback to that was I can't believe I'm gonna pull this. The regeneration scene from the 5th Doctor to the 6th Doctor in Doctor Who, where Colin Baker, Perry, Nicola Bryant, her character comes up to him and she's stammering and she's going, I. And he's like, oh, 3 eyes in one breath makes you sound quite an egotistical young lady. That's ridiculous that I pulled that out of nowhere. But I love eye jokes. They're really funny. So this one is well done.
Okay. Another I am trying to run a company, Pepper says. Do you have any idea what that entails? Which is a dumb question.
Well, yeah, of course he does.
Of all the people around, yes, of course he does, because he had the job right before you, remember? And Tony says, yes. And so Pepper says, people are relying on you to be Iron Man, and you've disappeared. And all I'm doing is putting out your fires and taking the heat of it. Again, point for Pepper Potts. Like, she's absolutely right here. I'm trying to do the job that you were meant to do. And so let that hang, and then she says, and like I love also Gwyneth is great in this scene, by the way.
Oh yeah,
like excellent. This whole all the way through, she is just like the woman who's trying to hold everything together while everyone else is just bebopping around, just being ridiculous, and she's like she has to be the mom here because everyone else is just sodding off and doing whatever they're doing. So then she does not break eye contact with Tony, and then says, "Did you bring me strawberries?" And then says, "Did you know that there's only one thing on Earth that I'm allergic to?" It's like, ooh,
God, you suck, dude.
Yeah,
Tony.
Hey, there's this thing here that could kill you. Here's a big bushel of them just for you.
That I gave my watch away for.
Yeah, that's right. Do you know how much I paid? 10 grand for these Murderberries. So he says, he basically kind of tries to finish her sentence as allergic to strawberries. He's like, oh, he says, this is progress, Pepper. I knew there was a correlation between you and this.
Now, okay, that's ridiculous. And dude, you're killing yourself right now. However, in Tony's world, he's not wrong. Like, that's a big deal. Like,
he got the correlation, you know?
It's like huge. The fact that he correlated anything outside of his private parts, that's an amazing thing. Like, come on, everybody. I mean, he's still compromised. We don't forget that. He's still got.
That's right. He's still dying.
Yes.
He still has, palladium in his chest that's slowly poisoning him, even though that they gave him the special solution to make him look okay, even though he's physically dying, because you can't have Robert Downey Jr. looking sick in a Marvel movie.
Wow. No, and the point you made is Gwyneth is doing a great job on this, because it is nuanced in that look, if you were just flat out angry at this person and wanted him out, you'd be throwing stuff at him and getting him out. No.
Right.
The point of this dialogue is to show that they really do care for one another, and she really wishes he could be more than he is right now. And he wishes the same. And I think this is a nice moment that makes sense to how their relationship will culminate at the end of the movie. Spoiler.
Wow, just don't drop that kind of bomb on these people, Rob.
I just said culminate. I said culminate. I didn't know.
There's a culmination coming. That's a major spoiler that there's a culmination.
Yeah, I really went out on a limb there.
Shocking. And that's pretty much the end of the minute.
That's the minute.
Really, it's just the two of them just talking to each other for that, and then Strawberries is it basically the mic drop is on Strawberries.
Yeah, again, watch for the disappearing logo on the building behind her.
That's right. If you're bored about listening to the serious grown-ups talking about their serious grown-up things.
Well, this will all end well in the next minute.
Right. You can tell this conversation is on the road to reconciliation. They're gonna kiss, right? That's what's gonna happen in the next minute.
He'll take the strawberries with him. He doesn't want to leave the strawberries.
I would. I mean, of all the things he would do, there's no way he would leave the strawberries there.
Maybe Bambi likes strawberries.
It could be. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll have to wait until the next minute to find out. While you're waiting, if you want to discuss your own food allergies, you can do so over on Discord.
Hey!
That's right. We have our own Discord server. If you go to nextshow.com and scroll down to the link that says Discord and click on it, you can join our community and jump into the Marvel channel and tell us what kind of foods you're allergic to. But don't tell us what they do to you.
I seriously want to say this. Please go on Discord. Go just start listing out food allergies. And everyone else who has not listened to this episode will just go, what the hell is happening here?
I even better say you can start it with I like, and then put your favorite Marvel superhero in there. And I'm allergic to, and then you put that there. And just that be the only comment. Like you said, and people let it go from there. Just like one sentence.
I'm still going after the Murderberries. I'm still tell us Murderberries. Yeah, go on Discord. Tell us everything.
Yeah, we have our own dedicated channel. It's full of episode announcements and memes, and so why not add food allergies to that mix? We're all friends here. So the riddle of the strawberries has been encountered, but the riddle of the heart continues. So make sure you join us for minute 80 when we get to the end of this never-ending conversation between exes? I don't know. We'll see. And maybe they'll kiss. Find out in minute 80. Enough said.
Bye.